In this video, I'm going to talk about how not to compromise in your marriage. Probably you're living in the same house with your wife and you feel that you are sacrificing a lot, you're compromising a lot, you're giving in a lot, and you feel that the equation is not right. You're doing so much for this relationship and your wife is not. If you are stuck in this dilemma, then continue to watch this video. Hi, Coach Val here. I help men to create an amazing marriage. And in this video, I'm going to dive deep into helping you understand why you're compromising in your marriage, and instead of compromising, what do you need to do? This video is going to be very different from all that you have ever heard from others. So when you're listening to this, when you're watching this video, I want you to empty your cup, empty your mind, and listen to everything that I'm going to say with an open mind, because I know from my experience of working with so many men that it works. So let us jump in and talk about how not to compromise in your marriage. So the first thing that I would like you to understand is that compromise is when you feel compromise, or you feel that you're compromising when you are stuck in power struggle stage. You must have heard me talking about power struggle stage in my other videos. Probably if you have attended my live webinar, you would have heard me talking about power struggle stage. And if you have not attended my live webinar, just go to the link in the description or the link that you see out here, that is coachval.co, and sign up for my upcoming live webinar. So let me quickly explain what power struggle stage is. Power struggle stage is the stage you get into once you finish with the romance stage, and your romance stage is supposed to come to an end. Now, when you get into power struggle stage, you feel that you're doing a lot for the relationship, and that is where you get into. And when you get in there, your spouse also feels the same. Now, when you get in there, you get a lot of people giving you advice that make sure that your husband doesn't, or your spouse doesn't take you for granted. People give you advice to be assertive. People give you advice to make sure that you don't compromise too much in your relationship. Now, all this advice comes from a lot of good people. But the truth is, according to research, it's majority of the people who are stuck in power struggle stage. They never cross that power struggle stage and move into mature love stage. So the first thing that you got to understand is that it is a mindset that people who are stuck in power struggle stage have, and that very mindset stops them from getting out of the power struggle stage and into mature love stage, or moving into mature love stage and becoming caring, loving couples. So the second thing that you need to understand is that if you move from power struggle to mature love stage, there is absolutely no compromise. So what do I mean by absolutely no compromise in mature love stage? Because compromise comes from a space of, oh, I am giving so much and I am not getting anything in return, or I'm getting very little in return. In mature love stage, you focus on not on getting, but on giving. Now it sounds very contradictory. Like you would be telling me that, well, I give so much for my wife, I do this, I do that. Just hold on. I'll talk about it a little later. Why you are giving is not having any effect on your marriage. But for now, you got to understand that you got to focus on giving. And the second thing you got to focus on is making your spouse win. Let me explain what I mean by focus on giving and making your spouse win. Marriage is something like this. Imagine that you and your spouse are playing this football match, only two of you. All right. The ball is in the center. Your goal, in order for you to win, you got to hit that ball into your wife's goalpost. Your wife has to do the same. In order for her to win this match, she has to hit the ball into your goalpost. Now imagine, instead of hitting the ball into her goalpost and making yourself win, you turn around and hit the ball into your own goalpost and make your wife win. Now, it happens once, it happens twice, it happens 3 times. Now, in order for the game to continue, otherwise there is no game. There's no game. So in order for the game to continue, what has to happen? Your wife has to play by your rules. And what are the rules that you have set? Hitting the ball into your own goalpost and making your spouse win. And she starts doing the same. So in other words, you are making your wife win. You're not thinking about what can I get. And because you're doing this, your spouse also starts doing the same. The next thing is making your spouse win. The second point is, when somebody asks you, when you are in mature love stage, and when somebody says, you're doing so much for this relationship, why are you doing so much for this relationship? If you're stuck in power struggle stage, you would be saying, oh yeah, because I have to do it, because she's like this, she's like that, and marriage is about compromise, what else can I do? You'll be saying all these things. But if you are in mature love stage, then you wouldn't be saying this. You would be saying to that person, you know why I do this? Because she loves me so much. She does this for me. She does that for me. She's loving. She's caring. She's understanding. She's giving me so much that in response to that, I am reciprocating that. And what it happens is it becomes a loop. It's a loop. And if I go to your spouse and ask her, why are you doing so much? Aren't you compromising in your marriage? She's going to say, no, I'm not compromising, because I'm doing this because he does so much for me. He loves me, he cares about me, he thinks about me, he does this, he does that. And I feel so loved by him that I cannot not give. Now that is a different kind of a marriage. In that marriage, you're not playing by the rules of what can I get. You're playing by the rules of what can I give. And why are you getting into this rules of what can I give? Is because you're feeling loved. And that becomes a loop. Now the point is, how do you get to mature love stage so that you are no more compromising? You're doing the same stuff. You're doing the same things. Probably you're getting up in the morning, you're doing this, you're doing that for your spouse, but you don't feel that you're doing a compromise. You feel that you're just reciprocating the love that you're receiving. So how do you get into mature love stage? The first thing, if you want to get into mature love stage, is you got to focus not on the small things. You got to focus on the big things. So when I'm talking about big things, it's about getting into a new phase. So let me explain what I mean by getting into a new phase. The new phase or the new place to get into is this mature love stage. Because once you get into mature love stage, you shouldn't focus on, how can I make him do this or make her do this? You're not focusing on all those things. You're focusing on moving from power struggle to mature love stage. And once you move to mature love stage, everything transforms. And you might wonder, like, how is that possible? It is possible. Let me give you an example. People behave based on where they think they are. Let me repeat that. People behave based on where they think they are. Give you an example. You are walking on the road, you see people throwing garbage all over the place. I'm talking about in India. All right. And the same people, and you walk into an Indian airport and you see that airport is spick and span. And you might wonder, like, how is this possible? The same people. It's the same people who throw the garbage on the road, come to the airport, and they're eating something. At the end of eating that, they take that wrapper, take that package, whatever they have, they put it into the dustbin. Probably they walk across and put it into the dustbin instead of throwing it. Why? Because everybody else is doing it. And that's exactly what happens when you move into mature love stage. Your spouse starts loving you because you're doing it, and you're loving her because she's doing it. Now, how do you get there? That's the next thing about how do you get to mature love stage. The way to get to mature love stage is, unfortunately, either you got to be lucky, and very few of us are in this matter, or you got to become lucky. What do I mean by that? One of my mentors always says this. He says, hard work, luck is when your hard work meets with an opportunity. Luck is when your hard work meets with an opportunity. So when you do the hard work, the luck will come. So here, what's the hard work? Hard work is understanding or learning relationship science. And why learn relationship science? Because of two reasons. The first reason is, I always speak about this in the masterclass. I say that relationships work on the third principle of Newton. That is, every action has equal and opposite reaction. And the second important thing is, my brain hides my action and highlights my partner's reaction. In other words, my brain, if when I'm when I'm in power struggle stage, I'm not able to see what are the things that I've done that are making my wife behave the way she does. And when you start learning relationship science, you know exactly where you're going wrong. And the second reason why you need to learn relationship science is because all of us are different with regard to a lot of things, but importantly, in a relationship, we are different with regard to the way we want to be loved. And the mistake we make is that we love our spouse, no doubt about it, but we love our spouse the way we want to be loved, not the way she wants to be loved. In other words, I am loving my wife, but she is not feeling loved. In order to understand how she wants to feel loved, because many times your spouse herself will not know this, you got to learn relationship science. And if you are interested in learning relationship science and want to get out of this power struggle and get into a mindset of mature love stage and stop compromising in your marriage, stop compromising and have a whole new way of looking at things, then I invite you to attend my upcoming live masterclass. Just click on the link that is in the description or in the comment section, or it's given here, and attend the masterclass and I'll guide you from there. If you enjoyed this video, click on that like button. If you feel that these videos are helping you, then go ahead, subscribe, click that bell icon so that the next time when I put up a video, you get the notification first. And if you have learned something in this video, write it in the comment section. What's the one thing that you have learned? If there is somebody who you think is feeling that is in the marriage, but he is feeling miserable because he is feeling like is compromising in his marriage, then please share this video with him and let him get a new insight into his marriage. So that's all for this video. Until we connect again in the next video, keep your love story alive. Bye-bye.